So the main advantages of using Eleventy for cloudcanon.com is really flexibility and then ease of use. Let's start with ease of use. The documentation for Eleventy is fantastic, and it's really structured in a very sensible, logical way. If you're coming from Jekyll, which is the static site generator I've used most previously, a lot of those concepts and ideas are used in Jekyll but expanded upon. Then on the flexibility side, we have a lot of confidence that anything we want to do on the marketing site, there's a way to do it in Eleventy. For example, we wanted a way of drafting posts and not publishing future posts on our production blog, but having them display on our staging blog. So with about 10 lines of JavaScript, we were able to implement that feature into our Eleventy site. And so there's really anything we want to do in our build process, there's a way to do it in Eleventy.
I think the main advantages of Eleventy is just being able to configure things easily with JavaScript, but also making the most out of the whole Liquid language. It's a nice combination of the two. It makes a nice configuration file, and if you're used to something like Jekyll, it's just easy going.
My prior experience with Eleventy was creating a template for people to use. This project was a much bigger use case on that, but I still found it simple to get up and running with it.
It gives you a lot of structure and tools to build websites efficiently, but it doesn't really have an opinion on how to do that. And I feel like Eleventy takes a lot of those ideas and really expands on it and gives you even more flexibility to structure a web project. During the project, we upgraded to Eleventy 2.0, and the main benefits we saw was a significantly faster build time, particularly with incremental builds. So we went from 30 seconds to a minute waiting for build to build the entire website when I was only making a small change to one particular page. With incremental builds, that was under a second. And that workflow as a developer was night and day difference. I could just move so much faster once we're on the 2.0.
I found using Eleventy quite simple. It was pretty straightforward. Most of the features they have are well documented, so it was easy to figure out what needed to be done and just get it done.
So the main learning curve coming into the Cloud Canon marketing site using Eleventy for the first time was kind of when it came to more shortcode configuration. There's a few types of shortcodes you can do. There's nunjucks, there's your Liquid shortcodes, and then also with Cloud Canon, you can actually use your Bookshop components as shortcodes as well. So a cool little feature of Eleventy, especially if you're using Bookshop already, is that the components that you make for the general rest of your site, you can actually use those as shortcodes. So you can pull in those complete same workflow as you would use for your normal components throughout the site. You can be pulling those into your shortcodes, and that's just simply done in your Cloud Canon configuration file. You don't even have to worry about defining these shortcodes in the Eleventy configuration file as you normally would, which can create a quite cumbersome configuration file. You can skip that step completely and just do it in your configuration file in Cloud Canon.
Adding SEO with Eleventy and Cloud Canon was super easy. Eleventy didn't have any set ways that they looked at it, so it was easy for us to add the fields we wanted, like description and the meta tags for social sharing. We converted our old components into Tailwind for this project, and from my experience, that was super easy. They have great documentation, so finding the classes that matched our old styles was super easy.
The main advantage of Tailwind is you can just easily, like any developer can just come in, add stuff to it. They don't have to be searching for style sheets. They can, it's just there directly in front of you. And also, if you wanted to migrate this across, if for some reason you want to scrape all this content, as long as you've got Tailwind connected into your site, everything's going to work. You don't have to worry about all these missing style sheets, all of that. It's just there. Most kind of build processes, you'd use Minify or something, to get rid of that anyway. But Tailwind handles that straight out of the box. And then I guess also the big thing that you should be doing with development anyway is using kind of variables, and Tailwind's big on that. So I could already grab a lot of the variables that our previous developers had set, including, sizes of the fonts, colors, all of that stuff. I didn't have to worry about manually going through.
Eleventy and Cloud Cannon was a fantastic pairing. On one side, Eleventy is the super flexible platform where whatever we wanted to do on the marketing site, there was a way to do it. Working on this Eleventy site now, it really is a joy.
In order to add a new feature to the marketing site, I would find it super straightforward getting back into the project. Everything is presented in a real logical manner in Eleventy.
Now that we're using Eleventy, if I was given the task of adding a feature to cloudcannon.com, it'd be extremely easy. The way that the whole site's set up, you can just run 2 commands, your general node, npm I, and then an npm start, and it's just good to go. It's no issues. Super easy to use, adding components, easy as.